Picture this: the explosive energy of Kiss, a band that dominated arenas and set the standard for theatrical rock performances. Behind the makeup and pyrotechnics, however, lay a story of conflict, betrayal, and personal demons. Today, Paul Stanley finally pulls back the curtain, speaking openly about Ace Frehley, a man whose stormy character and personal struggles often cast a shadow over the band's success. What emerges is a tale of clashing egos, professional chaos, and the devastating effects of unchecked ambition. From the moment Ace Frehley joined Kiss in 1973, his talent was undeniable. As the lead guitarist, he brought a raw, unpredictable energy to the band's sound, crafting unforgettable solos on tracks like Shock Main and Cold Gin. But alongside his brilliance came volatility. Paul Stanley, the perfectionist and driving force behind Kiss, quickly found himself clashing with Frehley's erratic behavior. Ace's laid-back attitude often collided with Paul's relentless drive for perfection. While Stanley was focused on keeping the band on track, Frehley's casual approach and growing disinterest in rehearsals created friction. Their relationship became a tug-of-war between professionalism and spontaneity, with Paul often left to pick up the pieces when Ace's personal life bled into his performance. The tension reached a boiling point during the recording of Dynasty in 1979. By then, Ace's struggles with substance abuse were no secret. His erratic behavior disrupted recording sessions, leading to bitter arguments with Stanley and other band members. For Paul, Ace's actions weren't just unprofessional, they were a betrayal of the band's hard-earned reputation. Yet Frehley seemed indifferent, brushing off criticism with his trademark nonchalance. While Paul Stanley's criticisms of Ace often focused on his unreliability, the guitarist's personal life was spiraling out of control. Frehley's battles with alcohol and drugs were a well-documented part of his story, and they had a profound impact on his relationships within and outside the band. His unpredictable nature made collaboration difficult, often alienating those who wanted to support him. Frehley's family life wasn't spared from the chaos. His substance abuse strained his marriage, leading to a turbulent divorce in the early 1980s. Friends and bandmates tried to intervene, but Ace's unwillingness to address his problems only deepened the divide. For Paul Stanley, watching Frehley's self-destruction wasn't just frustrating, it was heartbreaking. Ace Frehley's battles didn't stop with Paul Stanley. His unpredictable personality and tumultuous behavior created rifts across the Kiss universe and beyond. Among the most notable clashes was his fraught relationship with Jean Simmons, the band's co-leader and the mastermind behind its commercial empire. Simmons, with his sharp business instincts and unrelenting work ethic, viewed Kiss not just as a band, but as a brand, a philosophy Frehley often rejected. For Ace, the transformation of Kiss into a commercial juggernaut felt like a betrayal of their raw, rebellious origins. The result was a constant tug-of-war, with Simmons accusing Frehley of lacking dedication while Frehley dismissed Simmons as domineering and obsessed with money. Their disagreements were more than just philosophical. Simmons' strict, almost militaristic approach to Kiss clashed with Frehley's free-spirited nature. Simmons wanted structure, Frehley craved spontaneity. In the studio, this difference became glaring, as Simmons pushed for polished production while Ace preferred a looser, more organic sound. Arguments over creative decisions often boiled over, with Frehley feeling stifled and Simmons growing increasingly frustrated with Ace's refusal to conform. Within the band, Frehley's fiery temperament also put him at odds with Peter Criss, Kiss's original drummer. While the two were initially allies, bonded by their shared outsider status within the group, their relationship was far from harmonious. Both men were known for their volatile tempers, and when their personalities clashed, the results were explosive. Their mutual struggles with substance abuse only added fuel to the fire, exacerbating tensions and creating a volatile dynamic that often disrupted the band's fragile balance. Arguments between the two were legendary moments of raw emotion that revealed the strain of trying to keep the band together under mounting pressure. Outside of Kiss, Frehley's reputation as a difficult collaborator followed him. Producers, fellow musicians, and industry insiders frequently found working with him to be a challenge. His erratic behavior and lack of reliability often led to strained relationships, with many collaborators walking away frustrated by his inability to commit or follow through. Frehley's reluctance to adhere to schedules or expectations made long-term partnerships nearly impossible, leaving a trail of fractured alliances in his wake. Adding to his troubles was Ace's contentious relationship with the media. Unlike Simmons, Who thrived in the spotlight and knew how to navigate interviews with calculated charm, Frehley approached the press with defiance. He bristled at questions he deemed intrusive or critical, often responding with curt or abrasive remarks. This antagonistic attitude alienated journalists and critics, who began to portray him as a self-destructive figure incapable of navigating the pressures of fame. Frehley's refusal to play by the media's rules only deepened his outsider image, reinforcing his reputation as a loose cannon. Ace Frehley's conflicts, whether with bandmates, collaborators, or the media, paint a picture of a man torn between immense talent and personal chaos. His unwillingness to compromise, while central to his rebellious spirit, often came at the expense of the very relationships that could have supported him. It was a pattern of discord that mirrored his own internal struggles, a reflection of the man behind the guitar solos, whose brilliance was as undeniable as his self-sabotaging tendencies. The tension between Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley took a toll on Kiss as a whole. By the early 1980s, the cracks in the band's foundation were impossible to ignore. Ace's increasing detachment from the group led to his eventual departure in 1982. For Paul, Frehley's exit was both a relief and a disappointment. While it marked the end of their constant battles, it also symbolized the loss of a key piece of Kiss's identity. Frehley's absence didn't mean the end of the drama. His solo career, though initially promising, was marred by the same issues that plagued his time in Kiss. Meanwhile, Paul and the remaining members struggled to rebuild the band's image, often fielding questions about Frehley's behavior and their strained relationship. Paul Stanley's reflections on his time with Ace Frehley are layered with contradiction, a testament to the turbulent partnership that fueled Kiss's rise to legendary status. On one hand, he cannot deny the magic Frehley brought to the band, the electrifying guitar solos, the rebellious energy, and the charismatic stage presence that resonated with millions of fans. On the other hand, the chaos Frehley carried with him often threatened to derail everything they had worked so hard to build. For Stanley, the guitarist was both an irreplaceable asset and a ticking time bomb, a dynamic that left scars as deep as the riffs they created together. Frehley's legacy is no less complicated. To fans, he remains the spaceman, the embodiment of rock's unfiltered spirit, whose raw talent defines some of Kiss's most iconic tracks. His searing solos and larger-than-life persona made him an indispensable part of the band's identity. Yet behind the adulation lies a man often at odds with himself. His conflicts with bandmates, the media, and even his own personal demons cast a long shadow over his achievements. It is the duality of Frehley's life brilliance intertwined with self-destruction that makes his story as compelling as it is tragic. The legacy they share as part of Kiss is one born of fire and friction. Stanley, ever the perfectionist, worked tirelessly to craft a vision of Kiss that transcended music, while Frehley's unpredictable nature threatened to unravel it at every turn. Their partnership was a dance on the edge of chaos, producing brilliance but leaving behind a trail of tension and regret. For Stanley, acknowledging Frehley's contributions means confronting the emotional toll of their tumultuous relationship, a cost he continues to grapple with. For Frehley, his journey is a bittersweet reflection of what could have been. While his talent cemented his place in rock history, his personal struggles often overshadowed his achievements. His legacy is one of contrasts: the adored guitar hero who couldn't escape his own vices, the celebrated artist who alienated those closest to him. It's a story that underscores the fragility of fame and the human toll of living life in the spotlight. Their complicated legacy serves as a poignant reminder of the thin line between success and self-destruction. Together they created music that defined an era, but the cost of that brilliance was steep, a legacy built on both triumph and turmoil, harmony and discord. It's a story as enduring as their music, a testament to the complexities of ambition and artistry. The story of Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley is a symphony of contrasts, ambition clashing with rebellion, structure vying against chaos. It's a tale where the pursuit of greatness was both their bond and their battleground. Their music soared to electrifying heights, but the price of that success was steep. For every anthem that brought fans to their feet, there was a conflict that pulled the band apart. Picture this: the flashing lights of sold-out arenas, the deafening cheers of fans, the adrenaline-fueled performances that defined a generation. Yet behind the face paint and leather, cracks were forming, cracks born of egos, insecurities, and the relentless pressure to be the best. Paul Stanley, the architect of Kiss's vision, and Ace Frehley, the embodiment of rock's untamed spirit, were two sides of the same coin. Together they created magic. Apart they exposed the fragility of artistic partnerships. For Kiss fans, their story is a stark reminder that the path to greatness is rarely smooth. The towering riffs and larger-than-life personas masked a deeply human struggle, a battle between individual expression and collective success, between stability and spontaneity. Frehley's stormy character, while fueling his guitar genius, often set him at odds with the very band that gave him a platform. Stanley's determination to hold the band together came at the cost of friendships that would never fully heal. In the end, the legacy of Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley is one of triumph and tragedy. Their conflicts were not merely disagreements, they were the crucible in which their artistry was forged. And while the bonds they shared may have fractured, the music they created endures, a testament to the creative tension that defined their journey. It's a legacy born from both harmony and discord, one that continues to resonate with those who understand the price of chasing greatness.